Across Britain, numbers of reenactment groups are entertaining audiences with dazzling combat, grand battles and theatrical living history. Once the preserve of amateur historians and academics, reenactment societies now want to educate, excite and entertain.
The most fun you can have with your clothes on.
Yeah.
I got interested in the early music and started off with looking at medieval instruments.
My life revolves around reenactment.
You don't have to be mad to do it, but it helps.
Our film crew spent a number of weeks with 4 societies to see how they've escaped the 21st century and to find out why they now spend their weekends battling friends and family with swords and axes.
I'm David Bracey. I'm secretary and co-founder of Wuffa, the Saxon and Viking Reenactment Society, based in Great Yarmouth, Lowestoft and Norwich area. I started about 17 years ago, by chance really. I never thought about reenactment, just went along to a school event that a group was doing, and my daughter was at that school. Within a week I joined and then dropped it for about 15 years, and my son's now 22. He's got into it, and last September we thought we'd form a group. I worked from a fairly young age for the local council, and I worked my way up, so to speak, and I inspect playgrounds, skate parks, multi-use games areas. I think I treat my job as a playground inspector as a job, as separate, and as soon as I come in from being a playground inspector, I'm just myself, and then I become a member of Wuffa. It does seem a bit strange, I suppose. One is looking for hazards, and the other one is being quite hazardous.
Hi, yes, I'm Dave, also known as Sir Brian of Skirbeck, erstwhile group leader and founder and all-round mug with the Knights of Skirbeck Medieval Reenactment Society.
And I'm Caroline, his ever-loving wife, otherwise known as Alice Puddy, and I'm mainly the camp cook and surgeon and wise woman and general all-rounder.
Our tagline is the Knights of Skirbeck, a unique blend of living history and entertainment. We're not one of these ultra-serious living history groups who go out purely to educate. We like to entertain.
Must be about 8-9 years ago now, we went along to a craft fair at Sandringham and saw another reenactment group, liked what they were doing. Dave loved the swords, had a go, and within a fortnight we'd got our own tent, our own trailer, and went along to the first show where it poured down all weekend. We were wet, we were cold, we were muddy, but we had a brilliant time, so we were hooked.
The 21st century version of me has a full-time job as a caretaker at a managed office unit. Yes, it's a super job. It involves cleaning loos, fixing door hinges, window locks.
And in my day-to-day life, I'm a catering assistant at a local secondary school. I make all the cakes and I wash up, generally help get the food ready.
My name's Adrian Lush, and at the moment I go to Kentwell Hall, which is Tudor Reenactment Society. Then I'm in the Colchester Waits, which is loud music, mainly 16th century. Well, I was thinking really about the future when I was in my 50s, I suppose, and thinking what I would do and what would be interesting things, because obviously you do passive things like going to art galleries, but I wanted to do something positive and tried some things, and in the end decided I'd do music, early music and dance. So I play a shawm, which is an alto instrument, the second line I play there. Then occasionally I play a slide trumpet on the second line instead. And then occasionally I play other instruments, sackbut, which is an early trombone. I play the viol, which is this is the bass one, but there are smaller ones at Kentwell Hall. So I'm a retired doctor and living in a village in Suffolk. I am 84 and I'm very lucky because I'm healthy and don't really need anything treatments, apart from being a bit deaf. I did join in at Kentwell when that would be over 20 years ago. I went down for weekends to a couple who were, she was a professional musician and he was a doctor, and they mentioned that they actually went to Kentwell and dressed in costume, and I thought, first of all, I thought that's very strange. I don't know about dressing in costume. And then I thought, well, I'll be with two very good musicians for a week and I'd learn something, and the cost would then be the costume as opposed to paying for a course. So I started going.
Well, I think as soon as you put that kit on, you become a different person. You become that persona. And I do tell the members, particularly the newer members, that they've got to create a persona, an image, and then stick to it. And once they put that kit on, they become that character. They've got to leave behind what they are in real life, basically. And I think that's the main thing, really, just to become that part, that character. And you portray someone living in those times, the Dark Ages. For those few hours you're away, you can actually do things what you can't do in a normal sense. You know, you wouldn't be able to run around with a sword, whack people over the head with a shield or whatever down the local high street or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely a form of escapism.
We want violence! Begin! See the bitch, is that all you got?
I'm 99% sure that some people get into reenactment as a form of escapism. And then of course you get people like me who are in boring jobs as well, instead of being a high-stress job, in boring jobs. So it's a way of escaping from the mundane. Mm. I would say it is a fairly big transformation for me, because I don't think I'm arrogant, am I? No, in myself. I'm not a confident person in myself. I tend to try and start the day wearing my posh gear, which is a long black gown, fancy black hat, collar of S's, and that instantly makes my character feel superior.
Once I've got my reenactment dress on and my lovely medieval boots, it just happens. You're just in character straight away.
Kentwell, I'm father to the mistress of the house is my official position, for you have to have a reason and a name that was around in the 16th century at that particular date. They have to fit everything into a family tree as to what you do, and the costume has to be right for that date. It's fairly exacting, but mainly you just talk, and you have a long dinner as well, and yeah, talk to other people and talk to visitors, but you talk as if you're still in your character. You don't move out of your character.
My daughter is mistress of the house. I'm Sir Edmund Elms, and I'm just visiting this house, as you are.
I have been that character on many occasions in the past, so it is really, you've got to be somehow more in command.
For what we are about to receive, may the Lord make us truly thankful.
Amen.
You've got to think of that of being, slightly superior, really. And of course the difficulty is you've got to then forget, when the public go away, you've got to forget about being superior and come down. Occasionally we've had problems with people who've been sort of and felt their little princesses into the evening, which hasn't been well received at all. But they've had the best clothes and the best food and everything else, and other people are waiting on them.
Enjoy it. The camaraderie with the lads, and historical side obviously. It's just something different, I think, away from the 21st century. So maybe it's a little bit of theatrical blood in me somewhere, but maybe a bit of a warrior blood as well, mixed together. Yeah, there is a buzz, excitement, and you go out to the crowd. You're obviously performing for that crowd. You want to give a show, you want to do the best, and basically thrill the crowd. Exciting, exhilarating. It still is. You're in front of the public. You're entertaining them, whether it's in a theatrical way. So, however old you are, I think you still get that buzz.
Why do we do this reenactment thing?
Because we're crackers.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Oh yeah, one too many knocks to the head. I don't like it, I hate it.
Yeah.
I can't stand
I
it.
like the people.
I hate them.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's all right, because I hate you as well, so it's a mutual feeling.
Everybody gets on famously. I guess we're all nutters, really.
Yeah. There's a brilliant social side to it.
There's a lot of nice people out there. We've
yeah.
met some fabulous people.
And go to some great places. Caldicott Castle in the south of Wales we were at last weekend. It's amazing. We were camping in the grounds of the castle.
Yeah. It's like you open your tent door in the morning and there's medieval tents over there, medieval tents over there. When we set up camp for a show, it's not just about the combat. We like to do the living history side as well, which is especially handy for Pud, isn't it, dear?
Yeah.
So although she does fight, prefers to do the other stuff, don't you?
Yeah. I like to do the surgery where we get some poor soul in, and I've already prepared him. And then he comes along with his aching arm, and I cut open his skin with a scalpel and produce all this pus, which really, often produces quite a few people stepping back. And if I've got any, there's some maggots coming out of it as well. And then we get the hot cauterising iron that's been in the fire and just brand it, and that makes a nice bit of smoke and a bit of a smell, and goes down really well.
What are you crying about?
Keep it clean. You've seen what the alternative is. Lie in a red curtained room, you'll be fine. Okay? Give me my stick back.
Thank you.
Hey!
Well, it is pleasant being with other people and then interacting with them. And then there's a social aspect. You're meeting up with people and talking to them and discussing things you're interested in. So I suppose that's big. And then also, say Kentwell's a lovely house, and the gardens, you stroll around the gardens are pretty and things like that. Obviously you put music high on the list if things are going well, if the things are sounding together well and you're playing an elaborate piece of music, it can be really great. And at Kentwell, say, lady's on the top line is professional and she plays wonderfully, and it is great just to be with her and playing alongside with her. So I really like playing with small groups where you can get the feeling together, get the speed right, get the tones right, and get things correct. That's what gives me the pleasure when you're actually playing with other people, and just everything seems to fit in together.
We do get one or two sharp intake of breaths and oohs and ahs when the combatants get really stuck in. With the group, we've got novice members, obviously, as not so aggressive as the hardened members, and they do. I think some members of the public are shocked by what we get up to. There's obviously a thrill, excitement, satisfaction if you do the move well and get applauded, or if you survive or don't get killed. There's obviously that angle as well. You're trying to kill each other. You're actually trying to win the fight. There's obviously that sort of competitive angle as well. A lot of the members are more competitive than others, and you will see that on a battlefield. You get the most competitive members will want to be standing there at the end, still alive. You do feel as though you're a Dark Age warrior.
Combat side of things can give a massive adrenaline rush, especially if it's a real competitive tournament like the ones I've just won in South Wales. We also like to include a sort of a comedy element and something to get the ladies interested and show that the ladies can get the upper hand. So sometimes I might be accused of disrespecting Mistress Puddy's cooking, as if I would ever do such a thing.
As if you wouldn't dare.
No, very true. But sometimes I get accused of it, and so she challenges me to a duel.
15 minutes, my lord. In the arena, I challenge you to a fight.
You're going to fight me?
Yes. Not just with a dish.
For your age. You poor old thing.
Not only do you insult my cooking, you insult my age as well. Come on then, finish me. Come on then.
No!
With the success of these societies, reenactment groups do face challenges that could threaten their long-term future.
Obviously, when I started 15, 17 years ago, there weren't computer games. LARP is quite popular now. And obviously there's so many distractions nowadays, whereas 15, 17 years ago, if you're into reenactment, you just joined a local society and that was it. But now you need to dangle a lot of carrots to get the members. Injuries are a main concern with us at the moment. There's a lot of hand injuries, fingers and thumbnails getting squashed and things. We obviously try and eliminate injuries by wearing gloves and protective clothing, but a lot of the lads don't like to wear it. You know, they like to go out there, and I don't know what it is, but some of them don't even like wearing armour. You know, they just want to go out there and fight almost bare-fisted.
To be fair, if you don't come away with the odd bruise or two, you've not really had a very good weekend.
A year in the life of the Knights of Skirbeck. Hellfire, it's crackers.
Busy, busy, busy. 21, 22 shows this season, where
Something
a lot of
like
groups will probably do 7 or 8.
And then when we have a weekend off,
we don't know what to do.
yeah, I do worry about the day coming when we can't do it any longer, and which is one reason I like to make sure I can still use a pole weapon.
I think that's a good thing about us doing the living history as well, because you can carry that on a lot longer than you can the fighting side of it.
Yeah, as long as we can keep going, I think we will.
We might have to steady down a bit at some point, but not for a few years yet.
Hope not.
So you get these popular events, say like Hedingham Castle, which is, in a way, there's a tourney, but in a way it's a bit more like a circus. It's become more an entertainment business than the actual reenactment, which I think people have got less interested in. You're often wallpaper to people walking by, strolling by. You've got to be playing for your enjoyment of the music and not relying on external things. So there's a difficult balance between trying to be more entertaining and still retaining the original flavour. At Kentwell, strangely, people are already keen on their children joining. So in fact, we have quite a lot of teenagers there. We have maybe almost the right proportions, which you should have. So you should have a lot of children and babies, etc., around if you're doing a household in the 16th century. But and the waits, they do tend to be older people, mainly in the waits group. There is a problem how you integrate new people, younger, enthusiastic people. But we try and do that. And then it's got to be an open society, hasn't it, in that way. Not, if you restrict it just to experts, then you won't get anyone new.
Even with these challenges, Wuffa, the Knights of Skirbeck and Adrian Lush are looking forward to a long and enjoyable future in their societies.
We try and put over a storyline. All the members have got a character which they portray. Some are nasty, some are sort of good, some are even silly. And they laugh, the crowd laugh, they boo, they get upset, and then they get excited and cheer for people. And obviously, if their favourite is defeated, you know, they get upset. So the crowd come along with us. Basically, they're in with us, and we're there to entertain. And then hopefully they're entertained. And they go home at the end of the day. They've had a good day. We've had a good day. Everyone's happy.
Well, I'm lucky in that I can still play fairly quickly, and then I haven't got any arthritis or anything. I mean, that's what hinders people, isn't it, when they get some physical problems but presumably if I get physical problems, that will stop me. Inevitably, say, when I slow down, then I may get more to listening to things and not performing. Well, I'm lucky to be fit, that's the main thing, so I can really enjoy well, repeating things and finding new things to do. It is, so it's still good that way.
A life without reenactment, does that exist?
A life without reenactment. Life without a life.
Well, we might have a tidy house. We might not have any DIY to do. We might get to lie in bed until lunchtime on a weekend.
Is that what people do?
Apparently, go to car boot sales and stuff.
Oh, do they still have them things? Stop reenactments. Are you allowed to do that sort of thing?
Apparently so.
People stop reenacting.
They get boring.